And I just hit that point. Well, going back, my wife broke her foot after a Disney trip in Georgia. I did what any good husband would do and told her it's not broken. Come on, let's go. We'll get home. And it was broken. She was non-weight bearing for 6 to 8 weeks. I couldn't work. Unemployment's all fucked up. And I just watched I got a 1-year-old daughter at home, a one in kindergarten. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm watching no employment coming in. I'm watching the bank account just like, oh, fuck. I have $500. The way I'm doing my math, I'm like, dude, in like 3 weeks, I'm gonna have $500 fucking left across all my accounts. I was fucked. So, Matt Farrell, Bricktown guy, I said, hey, he's a big fisherman. I said, hey, he came to like Saving Grace. Hey, anybody needs upholstery work, let him know. I just looked at my arsenal. I'm like, you got a ton of talent. What can I do when my daughter sleeps? The baby still takes naps. What can I do in between? It was upholstery. Came on strong because I could do it while she sleeps. I could be down there. Because if I'm out in the garage welding shit for people, I'm dirty. I can't go pick up a baby.
And that was at the same time around when you reached out to me.
Yep. It was like kind of right soon after. All of a sudden, unemployment righted the ship. My buddy Matt Farrell came through with a bunch of jobs for me. I got everything. Okay, cool. I'm like, okay. Whew, I made it through that one. That was crazy. And then you made that post and pulled at the heartstrings, and I was like, fuck. He's fucking right. And instead of throttling off, because everything's good, I could just go back to Refinery, everything's back on top. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I want more. And whatever. Started from there.
Dude, we all have the best time ever to start a small business.
If I'm not gonna be 100% in, I'm not gonna do it.
Come on, man, just be yourself.
Yeah,
and just show up as yourself.
If you don't realize what I'm really about, I'm about freedom, family, and my country.
All right, we're gonna start this episode with, I think there's a 3-letter organization flying a Cessna plane above this podcast, because we got 2 rowdy guys from Bricktown. You see it? Hear it?
I hear it.
Hey, fuck you, cocksucker. So, to kick this off, Pat, I just wanted to introduce this new format that we're gonna be rolling with, and it just happens to be a friend from Bricktown back in the day, another guy who's just gonna let it rip and be real and raw and honest.
Nothing to hide.
And vulnerable. It would be fitting we wanna learn about your business, we wanna learn about you for the first half, and then the second half, we're gonna pick some trendy topics, right? Things going on. So, I want people to stay tuned. This is gonna get good. It's gonna get juicy. I hope I can keep myself on YouTube, but I don't know how long it will last. So I'll just give you a little teaser there. So this show has been birthed through wanting to turn around and help other people.
Right.
And you and I know each other for 36 years.
Long time.
Lost touch. Stayed, friends on social media.
Yeah.
Fast forward the story. You saw a post I made that said something along the lines of, your side piece, meaning your business, your side hustle, will never become your main hustle until you decide to make it your main hustle. And you hit me up out of the blue. We hadn't talked in probably over a year or two. And you said, I want to quit my job. I want to change my life for my family. I said, good, get in the pit.
Yep.
Get in the pit. And Pat was the first guy to sign up to the pit. And during that conversation and over the next 9 months, you left a union-paying job where you were the boss, a truck. And as you were leaving, they were offering you more money, new truck.
They were just surprised. They're in shock.
Because most people don't do what you did, give up that type of income to go actually spend more time with your family.
Yeah.
And you are what I want to inspire. And anybody who watches this show and understands that you're in fucking America, as hard as it is, as messed up as all this shit is going on in the world today, especially America, you could still make it.
Yeah. 100%.
And you could live a life of happiness and fulfillment. And you went and did that in 9 months because you got balls.
I appreciate it.
So I'm happy here. Cheers.
Absolutely appreciate it.
So Patrick Grippaldi, Bricktown, New Jersey boy.
Bricktown.
Let's talk about your story. How you got into sewing when?
So after high school, get pushed the college route. My mother, big on go to college, got to go to college. You're not living in this house if you go to college. So, did a little bit of Brookdale. Knew I was always a mechanic, working in the gas stations and whatever, Joe Service Center. And I just got to the I just knew it wasn't for me. I'm sitting in a class. I'm in OCC at the time, and I said to the professor, "This isn't for me. I don't think I need college." And she told me, "Without college, you'll be nothing." And I don't know what that lady did to me, but it pissed me off. I said, "I gotta go to the bathroom." I left all the books, all the shit on the desk, and I walked out. And I was working with my father in Point, and I kept showing up. Class is canceled today. Teacher didn't show up, all these excuses. He's like, "Listen, I'm not telling your mother, you are." Like, all right. So like they paid for me to go, so it was like, all right. So I quit school. Fucking lid comes off my mom, flipping out. All right, you gotta go somewhere. You're not living in this fucking house unless you go to school, the typical pushing in. So I already had it set. I was going to school out in Wyoming. I'm going to this school. No, you're not. What the fuck? You're kicking me out. Who the fuck? Why do you care where I go? You're kicking me out of the house. Either way. So, I'll get an associate's degree, and I want to build hot rods. So, off to Wyoming. She sees it. All right, like that's a good school. So I go off to Wyoming, Laramie, Wyoming. I lived there for, I think, 2.5 years or so I was out there.
How was that?
Fucking amazing. At the time, landlocked, missing the beach. Little different type of people, but you know what? I got a crew of friends I still talk to at least once a week all the time.
When I was out in Utah this winter, when we got to the top of the mountain snowmobiling, to the right was Wyoming, to the left was Idaho, and it was just
it's sick.
Gorgeous up there.
Snowmobiling out there is like you have a new perspective of open
Trevor
land.
West almost died.
I believe it. Dude.
Vacation Trevor is different for anybody who don't know. Like he almost fell down into those tree holes.
Dude, if you even snowboarding out there, whatever, you'll know. Like you hit a tree, you sink. You're down. Like I sunk a sled, and dude, I was stuck for hours trying with the bungees, trying to get this thing out. It sucks.
Yeah, they kept you on the trail. They did not want you going off the road.
I had some nutty friends that were like, come up here, we're gonna hill climb this, and they're all crazy.
That's a great experience. How old were you?
21. I turned 21 out there. So.
Were you still like straight edge at the time?
I went out there, and then
they converted you.
They converted
the mountains
me.
Converted
the
you.
The mountains converted you.
You're like, this beer is actually kind of fun.
Yeah, teach you how to drink out there. It's about all there is to do.
The whole straight edge thing. What was up with that? You, Phil, all you guys
being good people. You know what I mean? Just hard to say. You know what I mean? Just.
What do you mean, the band community you were hanging with?
Yeah, it was a lot of the hardcore music and everything we were all into, and still got a lot of friends that don't drink and stuff. It was just a lifestyle of just positive mental attitude kind of thing, and I still love the fact that I never got sidetracked with all the other shit. You see some people go down, it just positive mental attitude and just saying positive. And
it's so funny because the hardcore community looks negative, right? If you listen to their music, and you see the visual of them, you're like,
they're dirtbags, they're crazy, bad.
Nuts.
No, it's some of the most positive shit you'll ever hear in punk music.
Listen, I don't know if anybody listens to Rob Bailey's music,
it's
but
good. I listen to it now.
Super motivational.
Yeah.
A few of his songs, Hungry.
Yeah.
Heartbeat, like, dude, it is like, fuck it. I'm in the gym, like, crushing.
Get motivated.
Yeah.
It's what it is,
But Rob drinks.
Anti-government, the whole thing. I love it. But, so, whatever. Having a good time out in Wyoming.
Where did the sewing and the upholstery
they
side?
had a class. I never had it on. I had no interest. I didn't want anything to do with it.
I'm a mechanic. I'm going to build muscle cars.
I want to build hot rods, dude. I want to build cool hot rods, and that's it. That's all I wanted to do.
And just so you know, we're going to get to you building hot rods.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
All right. Well, my father was the one that was like, he basically said, you're adding that class on. I'm like, I don't want to. I don't have any interest in it. And he goes, no, you're not living here. You're out there. Add the class on.
Why was he such an advocate for it?
Just, I think any knowledge, you know what I mean?
Take it all in.
Take it all in. You're already there. What's another 3.5 months? Take it in, use it.
And your dad's another middle-class guy working extremely hard.
Yep. Talented.
He wants his kid to do better than him.
Talented. He's super talented. That's all. He knows everything. There's not a single thing that, like,
Does
even
he
down
do
the,
side work? Because I need like light bulbs.
Nah, he doesn't do that.
all-
Not
new
anymore.
lights put in.
That ship sailed years ago.
Maybe an awning.
Years ago, maybe. So he pushed it. I added on. Good, all right, cool. I got into it. Kind of get into it a little bit. I was like, it's okay. But I went into the body shop world when I got back. But right when I got back, he said, "What machine do you need to do upholstery?" I was like, "It's this one right here." I was like, "It's either this one or this one. These are the two options. They're like $1,800." He's like, "All right, no problem. Which one do you want?" "That one." So he buys me a machine, sets me up in the basement, and he had a 40-foot boat in the backyard. And he made me sew the entire fucking boat, the whole thing, all the upholstery in it. And again, I wasn't really into it. I'd sit down there, I'd drink a lot, and I would just like, this, whatever. Not into it because my mind's on hot rods and cool shit. So, another story, around that time, the guy that's been mentioned on the podcast, Uncle Val, I actually did some back seats for him. I started doing a little bit of side work. I actually did some back
That
seats
was
on
back
his fountain.
then?
That was back then.
Yeah.
2006-ish.
Uncle Val's the man. dude.
Yeah, Uncle Val.
He is
It's like the
fucking
third
man.
or fourth time he's mentioned on this thing. But yeah, Uncle Val, I did the back seats through Carbone and all them guys up at Speed Marine.
If you ever have a problem, you call Uncle Val.
Yeah, he was awesome.
We lived at his house for probably like 5-6 years straight.
Yeah.
He'd be on vacation. We'd be like, "Uncle Val, we're going over." He's like, "All right, hit the garage pin." Great guy.
It's funny because the relationships back then that I had on that just Uncle Val job, right? Damian Hiller, Coastal Detailing. He was detailing the boat.
Another Bricktown kid.
Carbone.
Bricktown kid.
And Jay Waltman, all them guys, Speed Marine, Kyle, Tree Master Killer, all them dudes were right there, like
Bricktown.
at that boat. And here I am, I don't even know, maybe 20 years later now, and I'm still working with all them.
Yeah.
Probably weekly. I'm with
It's
them
relationships,
guys. It's
man.
crazy, but
And you're good at what
they're
you do.
deep rooted. So yeah. Anyway, came back. Did some side work in it here
Yeah,
and
can I
there,
get one more
picking and
mini?
choosing. And I
Please.
went into the body shop world. I worked 10 years in a body shop in Wall Township. Loved it. Still miss it.
Oh, you did 10 years over there?
9.5 years I worked for Joe's Garage.
And you were doing
yeah.
no upholstery at the time.
Nothing. Just dropped it. Didn't want anything to do with it. I would do hustle side work. Just doing body shop stuff, painting cars, welding shit for people.
Yeah, I remember at your parents' house, you had
Yep.
the car up on the lift.
It
Whatever.
looked like a freaking scrapyard over there. It was constant rotation of cars. I had like 4 myself. Old 71 Eldorado, my 53 Chevy. I had all
Eldorado,
kinds
I
of
remember that.
I had all kinds of
What
shit.
was the
laying
color of
around.
that thing?
Gold.
Gold, yeah. It
Gold
was ugly.
Eldorado. So
You really got it. You got
I was like Boss
You
Hog,
really got an
dude.
eclectic taste, man.
I was like Boss Hog in that thing.
Listen, your hot rod now is super cool,
It's
and the whole
fun.
story
Yeah.
behind it is even better.
Yeah.
But I still look at the thing as like the person I am. I'm not like into
Yeah.
like, cars and shit. I'm like, this thing's a fucking rust bucket. Dude.
It's a piece of shit.
He's on the fucking.
actually pretty
He's on
rusty.
the parkway with this
Yeah.
thing. He's
No
crazy.
seatbelts, bomber seats. I don't even have an interior in
Is
the
there
car. I'm an
windows in
interior
it?
guy. No
Yeah,
windows,
you're
just
like
a
sitting on
windshield.
the floor. It's like a
Yeah,
cardboard box.
it's a little aluminum seat, race seat, but there ain't
Tell
no.
that story real quick. You dug that out of a desert in Wyoming?
My
or?
buddy Mike Taylor, out in Kansas-Colorado border, dug it out. It was buried 3 feet in mud. He was wheeling. I bought a grill off him for my 53. Couldn't ship it back because he lives in a town of like 1,000 people out in like middle of nowhere. He's like, dude, I can't ship this thing. So he shows me a picture of the car. I'm like, how much you want for that? And he was like, you come get it, you can have it. I'm like, all right, shit. So my buddy James Stark out in Arizona was getting married. So me and my now wife, girlfriend at the time, I'm like, come on, we're going to a wedding in Arizona. And then on the way back, we're gonna hit Colorado. And I'm gonna pick up this car and then we'll tool the rest of the way home. We'll see like either Grand
Did she
Canyon
know
or
the
Hoover
full
Dam.
story?
Dude, we were first off, dude, she's a trooper. First off, a boulder took out I-70. So I pull up to this pass and I'm like, the only way through, I know it, I lived out there. The only way back to Denver is up Snowy Range, like around Laramie through different way. And I'm looking, there's a storm on top of the mountain. You could see it. I'm like, fuck. So I tell the guy, I'm like, is the pass open? He goes, it's open, but it's nasty up there. I'm like, all right. it is what it is. I just need to know it's open. So I start going. And he's like, you got 4-wheel drive, right? And I'm like, yeah, we're good. 2-wheel drive, single cab pickup. We're driving through the night. She's like, pull over. You're out of your mind. We're getting a hotel room. I'm like, we're in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, dude. I'm like, we're going to wake up to like 3 feet of snow up here. I'm like, we're gonna be stuck.
Yeah, we gotta go.
And we gotta get going. So we stayed overnight, and I chased that truck all the way down the mountains,
Yeah,
the whole way out
Yeah,
of
you
there.
did.
But yeah, we picked up the
You
car.
got your driving lessons that day.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then even when we get out there to go pick up the car, the body, it was just a body. When we get out there, I mean, we drive 3 hours out of Denver, 4 hours out of Denver. We get to a field, we follow fence rows for another 3 hours in the middle of grass.
Yeah.
We're standing on the
Middle of
top of the
nowhere
car.
out
Oh, dude, no cell phone service. She's like, what the fuck are we doing? But
You're crazy.
we got it, dude. You know what I mean? We got it.
And it's a cool fucking
It's
car.
fun.
It's for
Yeah.
sale still, right?
It's for sale.
Anybody looking to buy it?
15,000. I'm not coming off the 15 grand. That's a gift.
I mean,
even
especially
try.
driving past dropping boulders.
Yeah. So
So back on track. I took
Yeah.
you off. Working in this auto body shop.
Yep.
When did you decide to make the next transition?
So,
And how old were you at the time?
God, I guess I was 2013 is when I got into the union. I started talking to some people. Another Bricktown friend, my buddy James Graham, he was like gonna get me in through this other guy. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, that sounds awesome. I wanted to be in shipbuilding. I thought ships were cool. I just liked it. So I was like, oh, this will be pretty neat. Found Boilermaking. I'm like, oh, this is even better. Then I found an inn. All right, cool. So I go home and tell my father, I'm gonna go in the Boilermakers union. This guy's gonna get me in. He goes, why don't you call your uncle? I'm like, Uncle Barry's a Boilermaker? He goes, yeah, a good one. I'm like, oh shit, call him. He goes, I don't ask for favors. Well, here we go again. You know what I mean?
Well, he's teaching you a lesson.
I'm like, all right. So I pull out the phone book. I'm like, then I'll call little Millie now, my aunt. And then he's like, I'll fucking call her tomorrow. All right. He doesn't want to put that out there and ask anybody. So my uncle, finally, we get in touch. We have a conversation. He gets me right in. Like 6 months later, I'm in the union. I had no idea who he was or what positions he held, but he was the general foreman in the oil refinery. He brought a lot of work into the hall. Hard-nosed guy, tough guy, super, super skilled. And in that time, I told him, I was like, I'll be the apprentice of the year in this place. I'm going to be the best apprentice out of my class. And I held to it, got that, competed, almost went to nationals, 1 point off. So I was just super into it. It was fun, hard work, hard work, but awesome. I mean, the group of guys that you're around, everything was awesome. And then it was just, as you work your way up the food chain and that, a guy gets fired, let go, whatever, and it gets dumped into my lap. Now you're the guy. I'm like,
Yeah. I'm gonna speed up the story for you a little bit. So you get a foreman role. You've been there how many years until you left this year?
Well, no, I get general foreman position.
So I'm just saying, but you have the general foreman position. How long were you with the Boilermakers union?
10 years, about 9.5.
10 years.
Which I'm still a Boilermaker.
Rose all the way to the top. Had a team. You had companies. The oil refinery obviously did not want you to go.
Subcontractor.
Everybody was very surprised of you leaving. Your guys were motivated.
Oh, the guys in
were
that
sad
place
to see
are
you
awesome.
go.
They're awesome.
And again, that door's not closed. Doesn't mean you won't go back to it. But you set out to do something for your family, and your daughter had some health issues. Your wife's down there fighting off 2 kids. And for everybody that doesn't know, Pat was commuting 2 hours each way.
Hour and a half. Yeah.
And
at 90.
He's down in South Jersey going up to
Linden. Yeah.
That's a hike.
Sucked.
For those of you that watch
3 hours in traffic in the summer coming home, 3-4 hours when it snowed, it sucked.
And long days, hard days.
12-hour days, you're out of the house 15, 20 hours, 15 hours a day.
So what was going through your mind when you said, I'm going to reach out to Ryan, I need to make a change
I always worked on the side. I had to hustle side work, and I look back, my entire life I did side work. My father did side work his entire life. Like, it's just how you just provided for your family the best life you can. You just have to make more, right? And I just hit that point. going back, my wife broke her foot after a Disney trip in Georgia. I did what any good husband would do and told her it's not broken. Come on, let's go. We'll get home. And it was broken. She was non-weight bearing for 6 to 8 weeks. I couldn't work. Unemployment's all fucked up. And I just watched I got a 1-year-old daughter at home, a one in kindergarten. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm watching no employment coming in. I'm watching the bank account just like, oh fuck. I have $500. The way I'm doing my math, I'm like, dude, in like 3 weeks, I'm gonna have $500 fucking left across all my accounts. I was fucked. So, Matt Farrell, Bricktown guy, I said, hey, he's a big fisherman. I said, hey, he came to like Saving Grace. Hey, anybody needs upholstery work, let him know. I just looked at my arsenal. I'm like, you got a ton of talent. What can I do when my daughter sleeps? The baby still takes naps. What can I do in between? It was upholstery. Came on strong because I could do it while she sleeps. I could be down there. Because if I'm out in the garage welding shit for people, I'm dirty. I can't go pick up a baby.
And that was at the same time around when you reached out to me.
Yep. It was like kind of soon after. All of a sudden, unemployment righted the ship. My buddy Matt Farrell came through with a bunch of jobs for me. I got everything. Okay, cool. I'm like, okay. Whew, I made it through that one. That was crazy. And then you made that post and pulled at the heartstrings, and I was like, fuck. He's fucking right. And instead of throttling off, because everything's good, I could just go back to Refinery, everything's back on top. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I want more. And whatever. Started from there.
Yeah, and it's really cool to see, especially back with an old friend. You know, that comes from the same roots that I come from. And that's what I want people to understand, and that's a nugget no matter what position you're in. Like, Pat, I mean, you were making even 175 some years of overtime, right?
Probably some of my... Dude, they're on track right now this year. They're probably going to make like 175. They're killing it right now. Yeah, there's tons. But yeah, I left in a good year. Like, I mean, one of the best years they are going to have. But yeah, you never know. It's how much you work, the overtime, the way it all rolls. It's like,
I'm just saying,
when the economy's down,
you're leaving $120 to $150 job easy all day long. Mm-hmm. Most people would die for that job. Unions overpaid. And what most people don't realize in America today, and this may come off wrong, but like, you ain't shit if you ain't making $250 of a household income
100%.
Trying to live here. And
Totally
what I mean
agree.
by that is you're not going to live in a great town. You're not going to have a nicely sided house. You're not going to have a new kitchen. You're not going to be able to go on vacation. And I wanted that for myself, as well as the freedom to be around. My kid thinks I just hang out in the backyard all day. He has no idea what I do.
Yeah.
Besides, I tell him, Daddy's working, Daddy's making money. You got to pay for the bills.
It's tough.
You wanted that, and I actually have been able to enjoy watching you go for walks during the day with your daughters and your wife.
Dude, there's the little things, just by being able to come up and see them during lunch. Like if I take a break to get something to eat, and I could see them. Mm-hmm. Like you're out of the house at 4 a.m. and I'm not back in that house on a normal day until 5. God forbid you work 10, 12 hours, dude. They'll send you home at lunchtime and say you're coming back for night shift. Mm-hmm. What are you gonna do? Like,
yeah, you're missing your kids grow up.
In a oil refinery setting with corporate America like that, they don't give a shit if it's your kid's birthday. They don't give a shit if it's changed with the management, but like they don't care what you got going on in your life. They're losing sometimes $5 million a day when this unit's down. They don't care. Get in here and do it, or I'll find somebody that can. Yeah, that's it.
And you.
I'm just tired of it.
You were beat up.
I was just tired. I was just
all different angles was beat up. You're
trying
like, hey,
to run a business, and that
I'm grinding. I got this debt. My wife gets hurt. I can't even afford to stay home 6 weeks. Like, what the fuck is going on? And that's every American. Yep. Most Americans don't have 1 week of savings to pay their bills, and that's sad.
It gets tougher and tougher.
Kids,
everything,
cost, everything. And obviously the last few years. Inflation, everything our government has done. It's a hidden tax. Most people don't pay attention to that. And, they thought that all that stuff that came in during COVID was free. Yeah. Nothing's free, motherfucker, ever. No. And
smoke and mirrors.
But what I was proud of is that, like, really, you're very intelligent, more intelligent than you ever give yourself credit for. You're extremely talented.
Yeah, appreciate that.
You just needed somebody, for lack of a better term, excuse me, ladies, to tell you were a pussy, right? Because you had every single thing lined up. The talent, the intelligence, and then the right desire, which was to be around your family and your friends more. and
Just want more.
you just needed to push.
Just want more.
You just wanted to
Yeah.
push. And we gave it to you, and in 9 months, you opened up Gripp Stitches full-time doing upholstery.
Yeah. Do you remember what you said to me? I think I had some cards rolling and some other stuff. And you go, you're a typical Bricktown trash. You got stickers and a card and you don't even have your LLC open.
I don't even know if half of Bricktown still has an LLC.
You only got cards though.
The cards and hoodies. They got
Yeah,
hoodies too.
dude, let me tell you, Bricktown's got some super successful people.
Very smart.
It's unbelievable. If you look at our generation of people that went to that high school, what some of those dudes have built for themselves. They got serious businesses.
Justin Subag's got a big tree
Yep.
company.
Yep.
You know, I hate to give Kyle too much love, but the little
You're
fucking
killing
crazy
it.
bastard,
Yeah.
you know, he did it. You know,
Yep.
Tree Masters is a big company.
Killing
He's
it.
got great guys like Dante involved. Jay, he went at the boat thing early with a guy,
Yeah.
Jay Moeller, super
Yep.
smart dude, owns JEM. He just, you know, was young, you know,
Yeah.
immature, was
Yeah.
probably more worried about hanging
hard.
out with us and hanging out with the girls, and we were going to boat races. But he got reconnected with Kyle, and now they launched Speed Marine.
It's awesome.
Carbone's
Those
got,
dudes hook me up at work all the time. It's like nonstop.
I'm proud of a lot of my friends, and it goes way beyond that. Rack and Damien and
Other
Chris
ones.
Conrad and
Yep.
then. You know, but you know what? The correlation between all those guys is they all were crazy and crazy enough to say fuck school, never really paid attention,
Yeah, none of
and
us
just
did,
went
right?
and
Poor
became a
teachers.
business owner and made money.
Yep.
They wanted to make money, right? You talk about Carbone. Mr. Carbone was always hustling.
Yeah.
Owned a tile business.
It's all good people, man, in the corner is what the base of it all, you know? We're all
They
a little
are.
fucked up.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. So Gripp Stitches.
Yep.
You know, you
Get it
start
rolling.
out, you start getting rolling. You're working out of your basement.
Yep.
You're doing bolt upholstery, boat. You're doing hot rods,
Yep. Got
And
a
then-
couple old cars in there.
and then you call me up one day and you say, Ryan, you know what?
The light bulb, my father.
I can sew, and the material is not crazy expensive when it comes to making awnings, and it's actually pretty simplistic. And for anybody who's never purchased an awning, like you get a 18 by 14 awning, the thing's like $25,000. It's not
So-
cheap.
My father's got like 25, 30 years of experience in him. He's the one that came to me one day because he had to recover an old job that he did. What do you think about this? He laid it all out to me. He was like, you go to this company, they're here, this is where they're located, this is a company, you got to call them. But so I signed up with him, no problem, got on as a vendor. He was spot on and everything, and he's got like, you know, like I said, 25, 30 years experience, and he was the one, just makes the most sense. It's just like, we can do this together, make,
And it's
you
going to
know,
help retire your dad.
100%. He is now, no, not retired because he's going to work for me, but like he is paid through me, and hopefully we could get some help trained by him. I'm also looking into some modeling programs for the awnings that I'm possibly going to add on with estimators and everything built into it. Save me time, design time. It'll have more of a blueprint rather than up in here. So there's like little things that we're pushing forward, but got to.
But this is a lesson for everybody
Yeah.
and a nugget that people need to write down. It was Pat's action, not inaction.
Yeah.
It was Pat's action to say, I don't know where the fuck this is. I don't think I could do enough boat cushions
No.
or hot rod cushions to pay my mortgage. And said, Pat, just take the leap, dude, and we'll get you business. And not for nothing, dude. Selfishly put a commercial out there. Like, the pit has hooked you up.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Everybody in the pit, the tentacles of the pit,
They're awesome.
the Bricktown people, you just mentioned a few of
Everybody,
them.
like the pit. If you're a business owner, you're not in it, you're fucking crazy.
Only the right people, only the right people.
But like Nick Fusilli, like dude, spot on. Like hey man, I got this big job, biggest money I've ever seen. I would feel comfortable going in with a contract. No problem. Literally before I could finish sending a text, I get an email and like that's just like cut and paste. Like, it's done. Like
Yeah, that guy just loves to help.
unbelievable.
Because he
help.
understands that helping is how you get paid.
Yeah.
So I say this all the time. You get paid to do the things that you don't get paid to do.
Right.
And, you know, that's something that Nick embodies. That's what the pit embodies.
Yeah.
Recently, we had somebody we had to ask to leave the pit because it was all about, like, me. Like, yes, you're going to get network in the pit. yes, you're gonna, gain probably more business than you ever, but you need to come with free value first.
100%.
Build relationships. You were driving up in the hot rod to every coffee to come show your face and meet people, right?
Yep.
Pat Grippaldi Grip Stitches is just some guy that Ryan says is
Right.
legit down in South Jersey. No one
You
knows
got to put
you.
a face to it.
Yeah, they didn't know you.
No.
So that was a
Yeah.
shameless plug.
it's all good though.
But you have embodied everything that I kind of envisioned, and it's cool again to do it with a friend that you've known
Appreciate
so
it.
many years.
Yeah.
And you're gonna crush it. When I said earlier, you're gonna get the hot rods. Like, I'm kind of like a good psychopath. Maybe psychopath is the wrong word. Just like golf is gay. That was a bad word.
That was
I don't mean
bad.
gay and golf, but like, you guys know what I mean. Like, what the fuck? I'm from
That was
Bricktown,
funny.
and I didn't graduate junior year. But
you don't really care.
I'm a kind psychopath. Like, I'm making you walk through this discovery phase as your coach, if you want to call me that, right? You call me business
The business daddy. You're my business. my business daddy.
I gotta get a shirt for that, dude. Business daddy, and then golf
That's
is gay.
every time you go back in his text, everything's a business daddy.
Yeah, you text me, I just die laughing. This guy's a
It's
fucking
either
idiot.
boo or business daddy.
And I pretty much just call Pat up and tell him, like, you're
Asshole,
a fucking
you're a
asshole.
pussy.
Just fucking do it.
Yeah. You
But-
won my wife over when I put the hot rod up for sale, and you said, "What is this? Your sandbox? You're playing with your fucking toys? Sell the fucking thing and let's move." And so I put it up for sale. And she's like, "Oh, you're right." Like, every time I get shit, you better fucking call Ryan. all right.
Pat's like, I don't really want to tell him that yet.
Yeah.
But my vision for you as you walk through this discovery phase of I can do it, you gain confidence, do it, gain more confidence, do it.
You say it by falling forward.
You fail forward.
100%.
And you're in doing that, and everybody can do it. Pat is smart, Pat is talented, but you're talented too. Everybody's talented, different ways.
Pat doesn't know shit about running a business at all. But
You're
you know
learning
what?
it.
I'm learning it. And
you
I-
hire people to help you run it.
Right. I will be. Yep.
So we're going to take a quick break. We've got a good part of your story. We're going to keep talking business and your story and who we are, but we're going to move to this next new format. We're gonna have some trending topics we want to ask you about, and I'll have
good.
some commentary as well. So
All right.
we'll be back in a minute.
Alrighty.
Taking a quick break in the podcast, I want to talk about the Pit 2.0. What is the Pit 2.0? It's made up of a huge network of people across all different industries that are solving problems, creating solutions, and also bringing together a lot of marketing and sales idea. If you want to get into a Pit group like this, it's very inexpensive, $147 a month. If you want to learn more about it, check out the links and the information below.
It's like so confusing for me nowadays, and this is why I wanted this to roll with this new format of the podcast, because there's just so much cool shit out there. And again, I have opinion. Opinions are like assholes, right?
Yeah.
We all got one. Doesn't mean I'm right.
Yeah.
But I got questions. I think some of the stuff is funny to talk about, maybe more serious. But I got a little bit of viewership. I got a little bit of an ecosystem. So like, why not put out there what I think, And then let's see the
Title to whatever you want to say, right?
So we're gonna pick some trending topics to talk about. So the first one is Oliver Anthony, which is not his real name. I just had you listen to the song.
It's good.
Somehow you live under a rock and you didn't see this guy.
I'm in my
Probably
own
because you don't
little-
get on social media
I'm
enough.
in a little
You're on the sewing machine.
my little punk rock hub over here.
Yeah, what goes on? Like you're just rancing, blasting the basement?
Oh man.
Non-alcoholic
No,
beers?
I get into the outlaw country, like Hank Williams III, Hank II.
I gotta come hang. We gotta get in the basement for a day with Pat with the cameras, dude. We really do. So, you heard the song,
Yeah.
and for anybody who doesn't, again, and they live under a rock, he came out with the song, which he was singing. It looked like in his backyard, in the woods, in a field, and it was I'm gonna mess up. Richmond, north of Richmond is the name of the song. And the words just hit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care,
good.
who you are, unless you are someone worth 25 million plus,
Yeah.
the words hit.
Yeah, it does.
And he's so authentic, genuine.
Yep.
So,
Little bluegrass feel
just
to
like
it. It's awesome.
the aggressive music, dirty, predatorial music industry does, they're hitting this kid up and they're offering him $8 million, $10 million. And he wrote a Facebook post saying, essentially, like, I don't need 6 tour buses, 2 jets, and stadiums
fuck
packed,
yourself.
worried about me. Like,
Yep.
I wrote this shit because I'm depressed and pissed at what the fuck is going on, and like told everybody to kick rocks, and like more people in America need to do that shit, just like Trump's doing, right?
Yeah.
Trump's calling shit what it is. That's hurting his brand.
He's gonna make 10 times more.
10 times. His family will.
And you know what? Fuck them. Fuck corporate America.
Mm-hmm.
Who gives a shit?
I don't give one shit.
I've been a punk rocker my whole fucking life, from 3rd grade all the way up, listening to everything against the government. And you know what?
Is that why you didn't stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance in high school?
We had our own reasons, but you know what? Nothing's more punk rock than open up your own business and doing it yourself, DIY.
saying fuck
Do it
you.
all yourself, fuck them. You know what I mean? There's plenty of labels out there that just organically grew themselves.
So what do you think about that dude, right? He's in the
it's
middle
awesome.
of the country. It's funny.
He's
is
on
that-
point with...
Is the country industry shunning him right now? Even though he's more fucking
Listen,
country than all the
the
tool
fucking-
bags.
It's pop.
I don't wanna say gay.
Pop country isn't fucking country. If you want to listen to country, you got some serious fucking outlaw country that's awesome. And that whole pop country shit, I don't listen to that.
Morgan Wallen's pretty good.
Morgan Wallen's all right. I don't mind him.
He shaved his head.
He's like me now.
I think my wife wants him, but whatever. He can sing and play guitar. I can make millions.
No, but that's that whole, you can't.
Can't replace that guy. And that we need more of that in America. And that's what the article said
100%.
too on him today. It was like, he was like, this is the shit that we got away from and we need to get back to it. And I could not agree more. Everything that we did 50 years ago, not everything, but a lot of stuff we can get back to. We can learn from the bad and double down on the good.
100%.
If not triple down. So our next topic is Trump's indictment, right? So you're a punk rock guy. I'm not saying you're reading Politico every day or on,
You used to, not as much anymore.
But you're aware, Georgia now recently came out and said that, he tried to interfere with an election.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
The DOJ has come after him. Do you think that these charges are real charges? And as somebody who's a regular American who has just maybe started to pay attention because you pay taxes in your family.
I think what they do is, it's been going on forever. They show you this, and then they're fucking you over here. Put this out there, oh, look, and then they're fucking invading this place and raiding that place. Like,
But do you think Trump is in with them? You think he's a part of the system?
I don't know, man. I don't.
You can have your opinion.
I just think he's too. He goes at him. He goes at him. For me to say like that guy's affiliated, like I don't know. I think he's for the good of the country. You know what I'm saying? Like I honestly like.
And you were going to say he's polarizing.
He gets my attention sometimes, and people,
But maybe do you think that
people think
an evil genius would do something like that, right?
I think he makes moves for the better.
So what do you think about the indictment, though? So this guy's runner-up, Ron
fucking bullshit.
DeSantis, Chris Christie.
Yeah.
No one else is even coming close. Pence, that guy's an idiot, traitor.
Yep.
So this guy is still in the lead, but he's got 4 indictments from the DOJ right now. But the other guy, who's the president, the dude who sits in the White House, I don't know if he's the president. Who really knows? I mean, I don't know. Conspiracy Land has finally come across my plate the last 4 years, and I've been like, maybe my psycho friends from Bricktown
You
aren't
could go
lying.
down a conspiracy wormhole of all of it, and
God,
you're just like,
bad.
holy shit, and then you're looking at his earlobes, you're like, shit, his earlobes don't even
I think
match.
you should be able. You have to be smart enough and mentally strong enough to dip into it and know that they're saying this, and then get out. You can't just keep.
Nah, it'll keep going,
dude. It will keep going, and you'll engulf your mind. But
yeah,
Hunter Biden is running around.
He's definitely a
blowing
crackhead.
lines at the White House. Listen, everybody, is into what they're into, but like there seems to be a lot of like footage that him sleeping with very, very young women and dealings with China and all this different shit. And I'm not looking at it just from a Trump guy, and I am a Trump guy, right? I'm
Me
not
too.
gonna lie, but
I am too.
like. This guy's being treated like this who actually did nothing. He has stand-up children. They're involved in the country. They have done their civic duty. They run great companies. And then you have Crackhead, who's rich, and he gets no charges. He walks away with, probation.
The only thing that bothers me with it is they throw, the tax stuff in with Trump. And Dude, all that guy's
He
doing.
gave him his taxes, and they had nothing
He
against
is
him.
running a business to your laws. That is some.
Pat, hold on. He gave them their taxes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know, but you know what I'm saying.
And there was
People-
nothing they had against him.
No.
They tried to blow it up. They tried to say things like that. He
That's what I'm
pays no
saying.
taxes,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Like, but again, like he's playing by the rules.
But what if Trump was allowing them to do that to him, knowing that he would be back in power one day? So if you can go after this ex-president's tax returns, can you go after Biden's? Because right now they just found $32 million that was paid to the Biden family, right? They don't have any other country paying Trump or his family.
No.
They got his tax returns. It's not there,
Right.
right?
No,
They
I
thought
agree.
it was there. So this guy is the runner-up in the Republican Party. He most likely beat you last time. Now you're calling him for election interference. January 6th, that was set up by, you know, from what a lot of people say, Tucker Carlson, I don't think he's a bad guy, but
Right.
he's like,
He got fired or something, right?
yeah, there was a ton of feds in the audience, and there
Yeah.
was hired people, and again, I don't know
I'm
what
not.
that is.
Yeah, I'm not like totally well versed on it. I just know like he
I'm not
left-
either.
He
All
left.
I'm saying is that there's questions there, and you know, do we actually believe that the country is that dumb
No.
to believe that Biden may win again, and even if he runs?
I just think people are paying attention to all the bullshit.
They're
And this-
finally paying attention more.
more than ever.
Yeah, people were in a trance
Yep.
for a long time. And I didn't want to say all this in defense of just Trump, because people are like, Trump, MAGA. Yeah, MAGA's fucking strong. And the left is aware of it, and the cabal is aware of it,
Right.
and Trump's coming for them. And literally his first speech at the World Economic Forum, or was one of the conferences out there, he pretty much just tore down everything that they have pitched for the last 20 years. You know, they talk about things like the pandemic, like the World Economic Forum, Bill Gates, all these people have been talking about this stuff for years.
Yeah.
There's like
I know.
printed documents on
I
it.
know.
And we're supposed to sit here and be like, oh, that was just a pandemic, not a
Yeah.
pandemic.
They're like, oh, aliens. Oh,
yeah,
what?
vaccines
Like,
are safe. Vaccines are safe. You know, LeBron James' son, who's a stud athlete, who has all the money in the world to stay healthy and know
Yeah.
his health and know his heart and know everything that's going on in his body, fucking almost drops dead of a heart attack on a basketball court.
I only get worried when I don't hear much, and you know, and I'm like, what is gonna happen now? Like, I know it's gonna be a doozy. Like, it's just that whole fucking media. It's just such bullshit. It's been from
is.
day one. They paint the shittiest pictures of what they want to paint.
And you talk about that type of shit. You move on to Maui. You're like,
Yeah.
we're giving Ukraine billions upon billions upon
Yeah.
billions of dollars. And I'm not a war expert, but you start to read people that seem to really know what to
Yeah.
talk about. Like, Russia is easily winning. And Russia has to play, they have to play their PR game too. They can't just level a country and kill innocent people. And meanwhile, Maui's sitting over here burning down, and he's asked 3 or 4 times about it, and he chuckles and says no comment. Like, dude, that is so distasteful.
I know it.
And people see that in you. They see fakeness.
Yeah. I agree.
Talk about Maui. You're a surfer. Have you been out to Maui?
Never been. Me and my wife were we wanted to go like 3 years ago. I think we were like maybe gonna go to one of the places out in Hawaii. It just didn't pan out, but maybe.
So obviously you've seen the fires, the devastation.
Yeah.
You know, prior to that, and again, dude, there's so many different psyops going on, and who knows what is what. But BlackRock, the World Economic Forum, China, Bill Gates, they've talked about purchasing land.
Yeah.
You know, a federal judge just shut down in Florida. Florida shutting down China being able to purchase more land. They're purchasing land next to our military bases. This is all real shit for you to go find out. Don't think I'm a conspiracy theorist idiot. Go read it. It's real. And, you know,
Yeah, it makes sense.
BlackRock was trying to buy land.
Land's pretty cheap when there's nothing on it, right?
Yeah. So BlackRock was supposedly trying to buy these things, and these Maui homesteaders were like, we're not leaving.
Yeah.
And suddenly there's these massive fires. And again, that is conspiracy, but there's no coincidences either.
I don't know. I read some books, I forget what the one book's name is, but it was a surfer from Hawaii that pretty much was born and raised there, and man, they got some serious pride.
Yeah.
So you know, that's going to be like, come take it from me kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
And,
what I mean.
You know, they're not going to give it, that they very prideful people.
Yeah, and that's their way of life. It's
Yep.
what they know. And, you know, a lot of times I think we all think that the world is just so kind. Like, no, there's a massive shift going on right now, and it's a battle between powers in the world of economics.
There's nothing for free. Nothing's for free. And these people they're savages. They want all. They don't want some. They want everything. They want to control everything you look at. They want to fucking come on, like they
Oliver
want
Anthony,
everything.
they say all they want is control.
They do. They want they want to control you in everything. They want to feed you bullshit foods. They want to, you know what I mean? They want to.
What was up with the chicken farms all being burned down? The natural chicken
Oh
farms.
yeah, remember that? Yeah.
Remember that? I think it's still going on. I mean, I think there was like, don't quote me on this, but there was like some
lot.
crazy
Yeah,
amount
and then it's your chlorine farm, your chlorine place is blowing up, and then it's, you know, all kinds. It just doesn't
certain
stop.
drugs.
Certain pharmaceuticals. I mean, it's like, come on, like.
Yeah, train
And again, I'm
derailments.
not like a conspiracy guy,
but
it's
at
like,
this point, you're like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
And like, I do believe that, you know, the election was interfered with. I think elections have been
100
interfered with for
Come on.
forever.
you go to sleep.
It's corruption.
Yeah.
On all levels.
Bush with Florida years ago with
yeah.
the ballots
And at the time, I was cheering
disappearing
for that 'cause I
into the
didn't know any
ocean or
better.
whatever the fuck they did. You know what I mean? Like, so it's
It's been going on a long time.
forever.
Yeah.
From day
But
one.
now, I think the people are awake more than ever.
I think so.
And there's good horizons in the future. And
Good people prevail.
yeah.
What do you make of Michael Burry taking a short position on basically the entire market with 93% of his entire portfolio? But Michael Burry from Big Short.
I think that he was right the last time. He's probably right again. Listen, you can't have inflation and printed dollars and inventory on houses and all this stuff. We're still carrying over from the good economy that Trump created. And that's what's so crazy is he went and turned down their switch, turned on his light switch, and then they flipped everything that he did back down. So there's a drastic visual for everybody to see in the economy. It's drastic.
Yeah.
Drastic. It's undeniable. The things that you may not like him, you may think Orange Man bad, MAGA bad, you know, racist, whatever you want to say about the guy. But he made sure that the economy was doing well. And American people are sick and tired of taking care of the world too. Like, we're not the police officer to the world.
The whole that, you know, everybody wins kind of thing. It's not true. Everybody doesn't. There's losers.
Yeah, and that's okay.
If you're not, it's okay. It's
Yep.
okay. Get them next time. Work harder. You'll get them. Like, you get this soft, coddled. Dude, it's like you go into a Wawa or anything anymore, and there's kids in there. I don't even know what the fuck they are, and I'm like, dude,
bad,
it's sad. It's like you're
bad.
mentally fucking ill.
Yeah.
Like, what the
They
fuck?
can't even use the fucking
And
cash register.
I mean, politically
Which is a
correct, it's
computer.
probably not the right thing to say right here, but like, honestly, like, it's like, what the
I say it all the time. Like, the service.
are you? It's like mental illness levels are fucking must be through the roof. It's like, I don't even know what these kids are wearing. Like, they probably looked at me when I was like a dirtbag punk rock kid, probably didn't shower for a week and a half, just like riding a skateboard all over town. They're probably saying the same thing about me. Oh, this generation. But man, I don't know. It's scary to raise kids in it. When,
I think that our
when the school
generation is being
systems are
too
pushing.
kind.
Well,
Our generation now, our kids will be fucking savages.
yes, because we didn't grow up with that middle,
Yeah.
like, oh, be nice. No, like,
And again, you should lead with trying to be nice, but you know, the inclusion of everything that is fucking whack. This is a true story. Kelly and I were just in Newport, and this guy walks in dressed like a girl. He's in the coffee shop, so instantly I see him. And again, if you're into that, whatever the fuck you're into.
yeah.
But
It's fine.
he comes in and he's loud, he's in people's faces, and he has this baby doll. And it has a black marker around its mouth with the mouth open, and it drawn out in permanent black marker, the arms and legs ripped off. And he's like, ha, and there's like this group of 4 or 5
Yes.
younger girls sitting there. He goes, this is my baby chlamydia. Like, what, dude?
Yeah.
I was so fucking close to being like, you're a fucking nut job. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And
So-
you know what? We got to accept that bullshit. No.
No, I don't have to accept
I don't
it.
have to accept
I don't have
that.
to accept. I don't want.
I don't.
I don't want my, like, raising a 7-year-old daughter right now, and then like she's goes to register and she's totally confused that if this is a guy or a girl.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, that's, me and my wife laugh at her like, all right, like, come on. We're like, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah,
like,
you're not trying to teach her
I'm not
bad,
trying to
but-
teach her to be like rude to the person. Hey, whatever, you do you, I'll do me. That's fine. I don't. But like again, like, what the,
But it's,
I don't even know how to tell her. I'm like,
to the point where
like,
it's like,
boy, girl.
no, this is the right way, and
Right.
you're not really a dude.
And that's probably why I never got along in high school with some of the teachers, because again, it's the same. Like,
Yeah.
like,
You're trying to tell me.
stop trying to tell me what I need to learn and whatever. This war's bullshit and whatever.
Listen, I even talking about the shit I've held back for a long time, and this is why I'm switching the format of like, whatever. Come for
I guess
me.
it's a good drop for my new T-shirts.
Yeah. tell the people what it is.
It's Grip Stitches Don't Blow a Tranny. And that's
an old hot rod with
it's an
a
old
tranny
hot
on the
rod
ground.
with a tranny explosion underneath, and it's don't blow hot rod. So don't be.
Don't blow a tranny.
Yeah,
I love it.
watch out for them.
But like that's the shit like that should
It's
be
just
okay.
fun,
But
you
that's
know?
like a peaceful way to push back, right?
Yeah,
You're doing
it's
a
just
t-shirt,
fun.
And again, like even looking at like even like this episode, like it could be taken off YouTube. And again, I'm not trying to hurt
cares?
anybody's feeling. I'm not trying to be a scumbag, but like. I'm not okay with that guy. Like, what's up with the doll's arms
there's-
and legs ripped
there-
off
there's
with
a-
this big black hole? This is my baby
There's
chlamydia.
supposedly-
Anybody who thinks, oh, you should accept that guy. No, that motherfucker needs to be in a home. He actually needs help. We should feel for him and help him.
There's a school down south. I won't name the school. Apparently, they got a litter box
Yeah.
in the
that's-
girls' bathroom.
My wife had a kid that was a
Dude,
fucking.
like, what?
cat.
Like, I'm not saying like that kid needs to be in other classes. Maybe home. Like, come on. Like, we're putting litter boxes in schools
and
because they
this is
think
the
they're
problem.
a
And the
cat.
leaders in the school district, and I had someone already reach out to me that I worked with in the past, and it was never a shot at him. But, a couple people with some of the stuff I said about the school district, with a little bit of the eyes that I have, got upset. And it's like, no, you guys are fucking asshole leaders. Be like Oliver Anthony and say, I don't need your fucking money. I'm going to live the way I want to live. If I take your money, you control me.
Yeah.
And I understand that people have bills and kids in college, but if we all just keep letting this shit go on, but at the same time you're going, that's whack. I got to put a kitty litter in for a little girl who thinks she's
That's
a cat.
insane.
Like, that girl needs help.
There's a lot of people in the world that might be like, yeah, you need to, like, but then there's a whole lot of people like me that are like, are you guys out of your fucking mind? You can't be a cat. Somebody
I think
needs to
there's
tell
a
this
very,
kid.
very, very,
Somebody
very,
needs to tell him.
very small percentage that actually believes in that. There was a guy that shot me a DM about pitching me an app. And I said, you have like 30 pronouns in your fucking profile, so like you and I aren't meant to work together. And he's like, I just put them in there because LinkedIn gave me the option. So think about how many people are doing that to get
Right,
business,
just
to
to-
play the game. And I think that if we continue to play the game and we don't stand up for shit that's right,
Yeah, it's.
and again, there's
and again,
no
you
normal.
could-
What's the normal?
You
I
can
don't know.
do whatever you want, but don't get mad at somebody when they have their own opinion.
100%.
That's the only thing
Don't
it comes down to.
cancel,
Like,
don't-
I don't care what the hell. You could go paint yourself pink and walk around. I don't care what you do.
Well, look at the tech world.
But like,
people
I
don't talk about this on
care.
YouTube because they're scared to lose their monetization.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers, you don't pay me. Fuck you, YouTube. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Fuck you, YouTube. Like, I don't give a shit. So that's what more people need to start doing. Like, I'll still pay my bills,
Yeah.
And I still believe in my country. I still believe in government, right? But there's bad criminals within any type of entity, and there's criminals that have controlled this government for a long time, and those people need to don't kill them, don't throw them. I don't care, but they just need to be taken out of that system, and then the right people who have everybody's intention. You talk about sex trafficking, human trafficking.
Yeah, it's
this movie that just came out was absolutely terrible.
yeah, didn't it
dude.
get shut? Did it get shut down before
They
it came
tried
out
to
or
like pull
something?
fire alarms. ACs didn't work.
Yeah,
all
I didn't
types-
see
Sound
it.
of Freedom is the name of it.
Okay, I didn't see it. I just know there was like, they were like trying to stop it from coming out and like all this other
Well,
shit.
Disney held on to the rights for 8 years, and
Really?
they said that they were originally going to do it.
It's been that long? They
8
had
years.
this movie made?
8 years.
Holy shit.
We had the rights to it.
Okay.
And then they bought it back, and Mel Gibson and a lot of other people, Tony Robbins is very involved in this effort. And the guy Ballard, who runs the Underground Railroad, I know quite a few guys out in Utah, Ryan Bacher, he's worked with Tony Robbins, going over to these countries and participating in stings because American middle-aged wealthy men are the biggest buyers of it, which is fucking disgusting.
It is.
You know?
Fucking terrible.
And then you look at shit like, and again, I don't know what the fuck is true. I don't know what psyop they're playing on us. But you see this Epstein shit. This guy's in jail. He's in jail.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
gonna kill him. They're gonna kill him, and he hung himself.
Yeah.
Like he's gone now.
Yeah.
And now he's got this island with fucking the lady who has a talk show who's like super popular, and now she's gone. Where the fuck did she go? What's her name? The lesbian chick.
It's
What's her name? Talk show host, comedian. No, Oprah just Ellen.
Ellen?
But they
Ellen's
just found
gone?
some shit on Oprah, like her plane
Ellen's
went to
gone?
Epstein Island a bunch of times. Ellen's
Ellen?
gone. She's some shit came out on her, and it was just like just gone.
My algorithm's totally fucked up. Like, I didn't know Ellen was gone.
She's been done. Her show's been done for like a year and a half, 2 years now.
No idea.
But and again, I don't know what the fuck is true, what's not true, what her involvement is, but some shit was going on with kids and
Yeah.
people in high level of government
yeah.
and Hollywood, and that's just fucking disgusting.
It is. It's horrible.
You know, and I just hope that more people go to stand up for what's right than following the dollar.
Right. Oh,
You know?
yeah.
Chinese control the Bidens because of the dollar. Everybody wants to make money. China's buying up land left and right in this country.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we'll roll this to the end. That was a good second half. That was fun, different.
Yeah, put me on the spot.
Probably going to be canceled right away.
It doesn't matter.
I did put you on the spot.
Doesn't matter.
2 people you want to give a shout out to, 2 other business owners. I know you mentioned a bunch already.
Yeah, I mentioned a bunch. One that I haven't mentioned, NC Carpet Binding, the guy Mal Mayer. I haven't really worked a lot with him. Met him out in Utah when I was with J&S Upholstery and Cato at Kindig's building out there doing some classes. But that guy's got your back. That dude is awesome for anybody in the trimming world. Holy smokes. Like, call him, my machine was broken, drop it off, no problem. Dude, he had it before I could drive home from Newark, he had it fixed already. I had to turn around and go back and get it.
That's great.
So really awesome service, just like customer-driven service, and he's awesome. Trying to think someone else.
Give us a local guy or girl.
God, there's so many. You know what I mean? That I work with on a day-to-day. Just Jim Mason, Mad Mason's Detailing. He hooks me up with work a lot. I bounce a lot of questions off of him. All the pit guys, everybody in there. Anthony Kyle, the electrician, he's awesome. Another help. Coastal Detailing, all the guys at Tree Master. I mean, it's just like, what I've noticed is once you get into business and you're
People
trying
wanna
to do this, they are, dude, they call you for a job, they know you're just on your own. They are so excited and willing to help, and you could just have, I mean, wealths of knowledge just like poured onto you. And it's like, you gotta kind of decipher on how to like
Not
apply
everybody
it to
wants
yourself.
help, but there's still a good amount that will.
I've found going on my own, there's more people ready to help you and want to help you and want to see you succeed than there is that people are like, oh, fuck that guy. Yeah. Like, I've had more help from random places of business owners.
Because people walk the path, man. They know how hard it is. Well, Pat, this has been fun. Cheers. I love you, brother. We're going to get you some hot rod shops going. We'll give you some space over at the Fun Factory.
I don't know if you want my kind over there.
Thank you, brother. Good time. Cheers.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
If you enjoyed the podcast and you want to learn more about it, check out the links below.